Today, learn how to maximize profits by aligning your menu with seasonal ingredient availability, reduce food costs through strategic seasonal purchasing, and create excitement and return visits with rotating seasonal specials. Hello, and welcome to the Bar Business Podcast, where we help bar owners increase profits, attract loyal guests, and simplify operations so you can avoid burnout and finally enjoy your life outside of your bar. I'm your host, Chris Schneider, the Bar Business Coach. Before we get started, a quick thank you to our sponsors, Spot On, who provide a great modern POS solution for the bar and restaurant industry, and Starfish, who use AI to turn your books into actionable steps to increase profits. Today, we're talking all about seasonal menus. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know I love seasonal menus. And we're going to walk through why and what they do for you, talk about the cost control benefits, the benefits to customer service, and then how you can implement them. So let's dive right in with cost control benefits. So the main reason I love seasonal menus is cost control. Now, part of this is when you have a seasonal menu, you can put less things on it, right? Ideally, a menu is never too long. It's long enough, but not too long. And so you just by having fewer items, it makes it easier to control cost. This also lets you take advantage of peak season pricing. So we all know, depending on where you live in the United States or anywhere around the world, certain times of year, certain fruits, certain vegetables are way cheaper than other times. So rather than use something really expensive when it's out of season, use it when it's cheaper and in season. And so that peak season pricing, and this is not true for booze, right? But definitely true for food. As those prices go up and down throughout the year, you can match what you're doing to when the prices are lowest. Now, on the other side of that is inflation. Inflation has been continuous. Inflation is going to continue. And so because inflation is continuous and will always continue, it's very important that you realize you need to be able to adjust your prices on a regular basis. Seasonal menus let you do that, especially because you can change the items on your menu. When you change the items on your menu, there's no reference for what it used to cost. New item, new cost. No one can complain. If you just raise your prices, sometimes people complain. So seasonal menus let you get through that. Now, like I said, it means you have less stuff. Less stuff also means better inventory management. It means more efficient prep processes. But more important than that, it allows you to maintain consistent food cost percentages because you have a smaller menu, because you have less inventory, because you can do these changes every season to adjust for inflation and take advantage of what is in season. You're going to have a lower and more consistent food cost percentage. Now, how does a seasonal menu impact your guest experience? Well, first of all, when you have a seasonal menu, that means things come off and on every season. So you can build anticipation around returning seasonal favorites. For instance, with my bar, we did a meatloaf in the winter. People loved the meatloaf. I mean, it was good meatloaf. It was actually really good meatloaf, but it was still just meatloaf. But people loved it. So every winter, people would be like, hey, when's the meatloaf coming back? Like, oh, December 1st when the menu changes. So we're building that anticipation. The McRib is the perfect example of this, right? You build anticipation with returning seasonal favorites. You can create and you can use that buzz around those returning seasonal favorites to create buzz on social media around your new items. It gives you something new to market and push online. And of course, you can make very good videos of you showing people how to do that, how you make these items, how to cook the things that you have on your new menu. So not only can you give back to your guests a little bit that way, but it's a wonderful way to promote. Now, obviously, for your customers, one of the things they care about is, does the food that you serve match my mood? So when you're changing things seasonally, you align with the weather, you align with seasonal events, that's going to have a better appeal to your guests. They'll feel more connected to what's on your menu. And the other big thing here, something I remember with my bar, we had a menu, it was really good. But we had it for like a year and I didn't change it. And something I started to hear after about a year, a little longer than a year, was, I love your food, but I've had everything on the menu and I don't, I just I've had it all multiple times and I don't really want it again. So I was losing repeat business because the people coming into my bar had already eaten everything that I have. Well, really easy way to fix that. Change the menu. So those seasonal changes, not only do they build anticipation, but they help drive repeat business, because if somebody gets tired of what you're offering, if they've had everything on your menu multiple times, now they have other options. So how do you implement a seasonal menu? Well, you need to plan these things well in advance. I always start planning my next season's menu about a month into my current menu. So if you're doing a seasonal menu, I like to run spring is March through May, summer, June, July, August, fall, September, October, November, and then winter menu, December, January, February. And I would be starting, well, March is next month, is in a few days. So obviously March, if you're launching a menu March 1st, it's a little late. But I would start working on my summer menu beginning of April. And that's what I would tell my clients to, right? Because you want to have about 2 months. A month to kind of get your ideas together, a month to get everything organized and costed and all that good stuff. Also, when you implement, just like any other change, you got to train your staff on it. They need to know the seasonal ingredients. They need to know the preparations. They need to try all your food, because you cannot sell something you have not tasted. And during that training, you use that time to create excitement among your team. I used to also, when we were trying things out, just give them to regulars and get guest feedback. So I could adjust those menu items with real guest feedback before we put them on the menu. And then, of course, at the end of all this, track your items' performance, track your food, do the menu engineering, pull your P-mixes, see what's worked and what hasn't. So remember, successful seasonal menus combine smart purchasing, careful planning, and strategic timing to reduce costs while creating experiences that keep your guests coming back for more. That about wraps it up for today. If you enjoyed today's insights, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a review. If you are ready to take your bar to the next level, schedule a strategy session with me by clicking the link in the show notes below. Until next time, have a great day, and we will talk again later.